So today's lesson is on linear functions. The function y is equal to b is called the constant function. Now, the constant function is constant because it's literally just a flat line. So if you actually took a look at this, here's our line. And if I had the value b on the y-axis, then your horizontal line that crosses to it would be y is equal to b. That is what the equation is, and that is what it typically is. Now, the function y is equal to mx plus b, where m is not equal to 0, and b is called the y-intercept. And, comma, this is called a linear function. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to calculate slope and then how to calculate a cool version of the line without having to find the b value. And so now, here is a slope calculation. So we're going to determine the slope of the line through -2,5 and -6,3. Here's our solution. M is equal to, well, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is equal to the following. -3 minus 5 divided by -6 minus -2 becomes +2, and we end up with -8 over -4, which is 2. And we're done. So now let's do this next thing here. So example, determine the equation of the line given that the point that it goes through 1, 2 and has a slope of -2. So let's just make sure that all these are grouped and then move them up. So now here's the solution. And I am going to show you a cool way of doing this so that you don't have to say solve for b and then do your work again, i.e. restate the equation. We'll use an equation that by the time we solve for y, we've got our equation. So for this problem, here's the solution that we're going to do. When you do this problem, you're going to start by using this special form of the equation. Y minus y2 is equal to, no, sorry, it's y minus y1. Sorry, let's fix that. It's y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So this is a new form of the equation that I want you guys to kind of remember, because when you use this, it's literally going to save you from solving for b and then giving me the equation again. So the values for x1 and y1 are coming from our original equation, which is here, x1, y1, for our points. And then our slope, this is m. So we just substitute directly in. So we have -2 of x minus x1, which is 1, and y minus 2. So now all we have to do is apply our distributive property for the -2 inside here. And now we're left with -2x minus 1 is y minus 2. So now all we have to do is collect our like terms by moving our -2 from the y side. So we end up with y is equal to -2x minus 1 minus 2 No, plus 2, actually, because minus 2 becomes plus 2. And your final answer is y is equal to negative 2x plus 1. There is our equation of the line. Easy peasy. And remember, the equation is given by y minus y1, x minus x1. And all we're doing is we're substituting for x1 and y1 and m. That's it. Now, here is our next problem. The point goes through a certain thing, goes through 1, 2, and the slope is undefined. Now, in that case, there is no slope. In this case, we have to recognize that this is a vertical line. Now, since we have a vertical line, all we have to do is use the x value from our equation for our solution. So the solution is x is equal to 1. And what you would see on a graph is this, with your line being the blue line here, and its x-intercept would be 1. So now let's try another problem. So imagine I have this new problem where I'm going through the point 1, 2, or let's make it, you know what, let's change that. Instead of 1, 2, let's change that to 0, negative 2. We'll make that nicer, a nicer problem for me later. So we'll change this to 0, negative 2. And it's perpendicular to this equation. 3x plus 4y plus 5 is equal to 0. So that is the standard form of the line, right? We knew that from a while back. So let's move all of this up. So now, so it's going through 0, 2 and perpendicular to 4, and perpendicular 3x plus 4y plus 5 equals 0. So what we have to do for our solution is this. We have to take our original equation, this thing, and we have to solve for y. So we have 3x plus 4y plus 5 equals 0. So we have 4y is equal to negative 3x minus 5. And now we're going to divide, in order to solve for y, we're going to have to divide everything by 4. So now we're left with y is equal to negative 3 over 4x minus 5 over 4. Now, based on our original equation for a line, we know that y is equal to mx plus b. That's our original equation of the line. So that means m is equal to negative 3 over 4, but we need the perpendicular one. The perpendicular one is called m per, like this, and you're saying it's the negative reciprocal. So instead of negative 3 over 4, we have 4 over 3 for our slope. And now we have our point is 0, negative 2, and our slope for our new line is going to be 4 over 3. Now, solving for this is going to be pretty easy because we're going to use that equation that we did before. So we have y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. In our original equation, so we need the line for this thing, right? The line for these points and this slope. So we're going to call this x1, y1, and then there's our m. And we substitute that into our equation. And now we end up with y plus 2, minus minus 2 is plus 2, and then 4 over 3 times x minus 0, which means this is 4 over 3 times x minus 0 is just x, and we still have y plus 2. Now we'll move our y to the other side of this equation, and we end up with the final equation being y is equal to 4 over 3x minus 2 as our final solution for our graph. So for this next problem, we need to determine if any of the lines are parallel or perpendicular. So we have L1 being this, L2 being this, and L3 being this. Now I want to know if they are parallel or perpendicular. Okay, now the question is, how do we do that? What you need to do for your solution is you're going to have to put all the equations in y equals mx plus b format. So let's do that. Okay, so for line 1, let's do this. So we're going to start with 2x plus 3y equals 5. So now we're going to take the x, move it to the other side. So we get 3y equals negative 2x plus 5. Then we divide by 3 on all the coefficients. And we're left with y is equal to negative 2 over 3x plus 5 over 3. In this case, our slope m is equal to negative 2 over 3 for our slope, for our line L1. So that gives us some information that we can use. So now let's do the same for L2. So for L2. All right, so we start with y is equal to negative 2 over 3x plus 5. Oh, wow. What's the slope? The slope is negative 2 over 3 if we compare it to our original equation for our line. Y is equal to mx plus b. All right, so that is for L2. So that's all for L2. So now let's go and check L3. So for L3, we start with 9x minus 6y plus 5 equals 0. Let's move everything that's not a y to the other side. So we have 6y is equal to, no, negative 6y is equal to negative 9x minus 5. So now we divide everything by negative 6. Negative 9 divided by negative 6, divide by negative 6, and you end up with y is equal to 9 divided by 6 is 3 over 2, x plus 5 over 6, which means its slope here is equal to 3 over 2. And that is for L3. So now we can say the following. Well, L1 and L2 are parallel. Okay. But L3, and L3 is perpendicular to the other two because it's the negative reciprocal of 2 negative 2/3. So, in summary, in mathematical speak or lingo, we would say the slope, we would say this in math. So, L1 is parallel, so 2 lines like this to L2 since they have the same slope. And you could say since the slope for M1 is equal to M2. Now you can say, and now you can also say the following. So L1 is perpendicular to L2 since M1, no, not L3 actually, L3, M1 times M3 is equal to -1. So it's kind of like you're saying that it's the negative reciprocal. And you can say the same for L1 and L2 and L3 as well. So you can say L1 is perpendicular to L3, and it's all because of that. M1 being M1 times M3 and M2 times M3 equaling -1, i.e. the negative reciprocal. All right, just take a moment and copy that down, and we will do the next problem. So those are the questions that you have to do. And they are number 3, 7, 9, 13, 17, 19, 21, 25, 29, 31, 33, and 35, and 37.